5 hard facts about taxi business. There are so many things that we say them casually out there as drivers as well as passengers. But in this video, I have identified 5 critical points about taxi business that I want us to reason together and analyze together and see whether there is some maliciousness in some of the statements that drivers make, or they are well justified. So let us read together, and please leave a comment in the comment section below if you feel that my analysis is not your point of view. In this channel, I say it is everybody's channel, you as the rider or as the driver. If you feel that your opinion is different from mine and airing it can make things better, feel free to comment and we keep the conversation going. So this is what I want us to talk about. First of all is that a lot of drivers complain, but they are still there doing the same job. My channel has been here for quite some time now. I look back at some of the people I have interviewed. They told me that they are quitting. I have checked on them. They are still around. I agree that it is not easy to get an alternative employment, and sometimes we do jobs that are actually not paying well, that are actually, not making us happy. We do them either way because we have bills to pay. But, if taxi business was as bad as it has been described, I believe that those people who describe it in that way should not spend another extra month doing the business. So put a question mark when people say that the industry is that bad and they are still around. So question what they are saying. I'm not saying that they are wrong or they are lying, but don't take whatever they are saying as truth. The second point is that a lot of those who complain actually turn down my request for interviews. So, sometimes after work, I walk around, I find taxi drivers who park along the roads where I stay. I request them for an interview, and majority of people will be willing to give me the negative stories about the industry off the camera. And the moment I tell them, okay, let me do this, let me turn on my camera, and then we continue these stories on camera, the whole narrative changes. Actually, some of the people you see telling positive stories about the industry, if you find me with them offline, they are always on the negative side. So I think some people, are happy to send negative vibes, out away from the camera. When it comes to, public view of the industry, then they try to be positive. So I don't know the motive behind that. Maybe it's because they believe that the negativities are not well founded, so they don't want to put their views in public while they are not convinced about what they are saying. But a lot of people who speak in my channel have a positive view, and so you can, I don't know your take on that. So the other point is that drivers want short pickup distance. So I don't know whether you understand what is pickup distance. That is the distance between where the driver is at the point when you place a request and the distance he needs to travel to come and pick you. So many drivers complain about this aspect, that they are being called all the way up to 3-4 kilometers distance to go and pick someone. At the same time, by the fact that they want a short pickup distance, they are also contradicting their wishes by saying that the market is overflooded, that there are so many taxi cars. This statement and that other statement, they don't go together. The moment you want a short distance pickup trip, okay, that means that you are inviting thousands of other drivers to come and join the market. That is the only way for drivers to have short pickup distances, and that will ensure that at every point where there is a person requesting, there is a driver maybe maximum of 500 meters where they are. For that to happen, there needs to be actually over 1 million taxi drivers in the city of Nairobi. In as much as work will be divided, but efficiency will improve, because people will have to drivers will only have to travel a very short distance to pick someone. So drivers, please, those who are requesting for this, also come out publicly and say that you are encouraging thousands, hundreds of thousands of other drivers to join the industry so that, you can reduce the distance between the drivers and the passengers. Otherwise, it shows outrightly that you are not understanding the dynamics of the job that you do every day. Point number 4 is that taxi is a cash flow management business. Contrary to what people have been made to understand, that taxi has cash inflow issues. That is not a problem. There is a lot of money that flows into driver's pocket, and if it is not well managed, there is a lot of it that moves out of driver's pocket almost instantly. Okay, per day you will find that the transaction between drivers and Pesa will be around 8,000 because there is fuel, there is credit that they buy, there is commission that they pay, and a lot of payment that come into their M-Pesa from the passenger. So if you have that tendency of not having good discipline when handling cash and small amounts of money, you will never have stability financially when doing this business. And that's why I encourage every driver who gets into this business to always get in with a long-term financial plan. So get there with a commitment. If there is a loan that you are repaying, there is land that you have committed, there is a construction that is ongoing, there is school fees that you need to pay, open accounts and start depositing money towards those savings. Otherwise, if you just put your money in a general account and wait for it to accumulate for you to commit to a bigger financial plan, then you might never ever get there. And very soon I will show you a driver that I have helped to create a money market account and a simple Google form that helps him to track his daily savings. Right now we are at day 19, and I will show you how he will be performing when we clock exactly 1 month. I will show you all the records, all the M-Pesa transactions that guy is doing. He has been in the business for 2 years using someone else's car, but he has not been able to save as much. He has been saving very little money. But I showed him a plan. He opened a money market account with Sanlam. I will show you all those details. And right now, I'm telling you he's on a path to financial freedom because he's going to save and accumulate good amount of money, then committed to something that is sustainable. And he has no luxury right now to waste money on other things that have not been budgeted for. And then point number 5 that I wanted to highlight with you is that taxi business is actually not the hardest job that exists as you have been made to believe. Because I'm thinking about where I live. At around 6 a.m. in the morning, I already see people going to work. And a lot of these people, they will come back at around 8 p.m. So they leave quite early because maybe where I live in a place called Kasarani. So people going to work along Mombasa Road, along Kilimani, they will have to leave their house at around this time so that they beat traffic and ensure that they are in the office between 7:30 to 8. Okay? And then the time they'll get back home will be around 8 p.m. in the evening. So imagine these people have been out for a good 14 hours. Okay? And they are not making any money in between. They will just be waiting for their salary to come at the end of the month. So what if a driver also leaves his house at around 6 a.m. and come back at 8 p.m.? You get my point? The only difference is that all these hours, the driver could be on the road working, while this other person may be working only for 8 hours. Okay, but remember the other hours that person is using to travel to and from, they are actually work hours because they cannot do anything else. Those hours are part of the work that they are putting in for their employers. In as much as they are not being paid for, out of the 14 hours, they will only be paid for the 8 hours. You get my point? So taxi business is just a normal job in the country where we are in, within the category of, upper lower income earners. That's where I put taxi business. They are not in the category of, middle class earners. So they are slightly above the lower class earners because you know, maybe much of them will make up to 100K or slightly above that. So depending on the effort, they can fall within that category. And that category of workers in Kenya, they put in about 12, 14 hours, or out of which only 8 will be compensated by the pay slip. So let's give credit where it is due. This job is difficult, but is not the most difficult in this country.